This conference will now be recorded.
Right. So in the last two sessions, we understood the procedure for designing what transactions. We are going to Object Navigator. From there, we are launching the Screen Painter. We are designing the screen layout with the different elements. We are setting the properties, and yesterday we have implemented the PAI event, PBO event, and also what you have done, we understood that whenever we design a custom screen, you will not have some buttons on the standard toolbar like back button, all those things. In order to enable them, what we have done, we have defined our custom PF status and custom GUI title. We have seen those things yesterday, and we also discussed about at exit command module. If you want to forcefully exit from the transaction, we have to create a button, and set for that button we have to set the function type to E. E indicates what? Exit command, and there from there we can implement that at exit command module. Okay, so now in continuation to that, let us see. Yeah, see here, this is a requirement. I want to design the database fields. Yesterday, what we have done, we have designed that input output fields. I gave the names as IO1, IO2, IO3. Okay, for entering some numeric values. Now, what I want to design the database fields. Okay, we have the table like Mara. From the Mara table, I want to design some fields like material number, material type, and material group. I should have some 4 buttons, and I want a box kind of appearance. So in selection screen, if you have remembered, if you have practiced, we have seen selection screen begin of block and end of block. If you want any block kind of appearance, we'll go for begin of block and end of block. Similarly, here also we have box. So let us design this database fields from Mara table, and four push buttons, and these are the validations I want. Material number should be mandatory. Okay, and some validation we cannot discuss in one session. It may spread across 2 or 3 sessions. Okay, so first let us today will focus on how to design the database field. So before I do that, any questions from the previous classes? Yesterday's material I have not shared, but recording I have shared. Only material only is pending, yesterday's material. But apart from that, everything I've shared. Any questions? No questions? Fine. So let us create this particular program. So where do we design this? In Object Navigator. So I'll go to Object Navigator, SC80. Right. As usual, from the drop down, you have to choose what? Programmer. Program. I'll give the program name as something Z830 Module Pool 3. I'll press enter, and I should propose some name starting with Z or Z or Y. I'll press enter. It is saying that the program does not exist. Create the object, yes. Okay, I'll create this program with top include so that I can use the top include program for declaring global variables and for defining subroutine and module definitions. So I'll select the checkbox, create with what? Top include, continue. I'll give the name of the top include program as Z830 mod 3 top. Z830 mod 3 top, continue. Yeah. Okay. What is the type of program? Module pool. I'll save it. Local object. Right. So one top include program is created. As of now, it is blank. My top include program is blank. Let us create the screen. Okay. So before I create, on that screen, I should place the fields from which table? Mara table, material Mara table, material number, material type, and what? Material group. So if I go to Abap dictionary, SC11, right, we have one standard table called as Mara, which stores what? General material data. What are the fields I want to refer here? MATNR, that is material number. What else? MTRT, material type, character of 4. MATKL, what is this? MATKL, material group. Understood? So one is MATNR, character of 18. Another is MTRT, material type. Another is MATKL, what is this? Material group. Material group. So these are the 4 fields I want to create, or 3 fields. So how do you design the database fields? Observe this carefully. I'll right click on the program, create what? Screen. Already we know this navigation. I'm launching the screen painter tool. Right click on the program, create the screen. I'll give the screen number as 100. Continue. Provide some short description in the attributes tab. So screen 100. What is the screen type by default? Normal. Let it be normal. I have to design the layout now. I'll go to layout. So on this layout, I have to design what? Database fields. I have to design the database fields. How do I design? See this. Yesterday or day before yesterday also, if you want to place IO fields, what you are doing? We are clicking and drawing the IO field. We are double clicking, we are giving the name, and we are setting the properties. Make clear, let me delete this. How do you delete? Just click and press delete button. It gets deleted. Okay. So what is my requirement now? I want to design the database fields. How do I design the database fields in the dialog programming? Choose the menu, go to secondary window, dictionary slash program fields. In the layout, choose the menu, go to secondary window, dictionary slash program fields. Understood? Done. When I click on that, it is asking the table name. From which table you want to design? Mara, na? So provide the table name Mara. Press enter or click on the button get from dictionary. If I click on this, it will list out all the fields of the Mara table. Right? Which fields you want to design? MATNR. Acha, you can see here, if you have remembered and practiced, at the data element level, we have the field label. Na? So you can see by default, it is going to pick up which label? Medium label. Understood? A data element can contain short label, medium label, long, and heading. Na? By default, is going to pick up medium label. If you want to pick up what? Long, you select the radio button long. By default, is what? Medium. Character of 18. It's MATNR. Hold the control key. What is the other field? MTRT, MATKL, material group. Understood? So select the required fields holding the control key. By default, is going to pick up what? Medium level. So when I say continue, yes, you can see you drop it wherever you want. I'll drop it here. Right? So I have designed what? I have designed what? Database fields. Let me just save it once and go back and let me come back. Yeah, done. So what happened here? Automatically I'm getting the label. Na? Yesterday what we have done, we have taken the text fields and we gave the label text. Na? Right? So this is the advantage of designing the database fields directly. What are the labels you have at the data element level? That label will appear here. These are IO fields. If I double click on this, what is the name it has proposed by default? Mara-MATNR. What is the format here? Character, because in the Mara table it is character of 18. That's why it is showing the, it is okay, visible default length is what? 18. Okay, if you see this material type, Mara-MTRT, it is size 4 character. Okay, these are all IO fields. If I double click on this, these are text fields. The text field names are also same, no problem. Mara-MATNR, Mara-MTRT, Mara-MATKL. These are 3 text fields, these 3 IO fields. Right, so this is the way to design the database fields. So whenever we design the database fields, what are the names of these IO fields by default? Table name hyphen field name, table name hyphen field name, table name hyphen field name. Yes, any questions up to this point? No questions, huh? Fine. Right. So where we are now, let us take some push buttons. Get material, clear, cancel, and exit. Okay. Let me design that. I'll go to the layout. I'll design the push buttons. Double click on the first push button. I'll give the name as B1. Let me give the text as what? Get material. Function code, let us give it as FC1. You give whatever you want. Don't think that we have to give FC1, FC2, FC3. You give whatever you want. ABC, XYZ, whatever it is. I'll give FC1. For the second button, I'll give the name as B2. Text, let us give it as clear. Function code, I'll give it as FC2. This I'll say B3. I'll give the text as something exit. Function code, I'll give it as FC3. This I'll give it as B4. Text, let us give it as what cancel. Function code, I'll give it as FC4. For this button, I'll set one additional property, function type to what? E. Function type to E. E indicates what? Exit command. That's all. Save it, go back. So we have designed the screen layout with some 3 database fields and 4 push buttons. They are the function codes FC1, FC2, FC3. What are the validations here? Material number field should be mandatory, it seems. So the material number field should be made mandatory. If it is a selection screen, we use addition obligatory. Here, how do you make it as mandatory? If I double click on the material number, right? Yes, I think I've shown you. In the property window, in the program tab, set the input property to what required. So that that field becomes what? Compulsory field, mandatory field. Done. Input is required. I got the question mark here, which indicates that it is mandatory. Let me save it, check it, go back. So one validation is completed. What is the second validation here? On entering material number and upon clicking on get material button, display the corresponding data in the other fields. Okay, let's see how to do it. Okay, so whenever I click on these buttons, what is the event triggered PA? Na? So let me write the logic for this get material, clear, and what? Exit. First, let us write the logic for exit. I'll write the logic for exit. Whenever I click on the button, what is the event triggered? PA. Na? So as part of flow logic, right, under PA event, I'll uncomment the PA module. Does not exist. Create the object. Yes. I'll choose what? Top include program. Continue. Case you come when function code for exit is FC3. Yeah? When FC3, I'll say what? Leave program end case. Save it. Check for the syntax. Done. Activate the flow logic. Let us create the T code for testing purpose. Without T code, I cannot execute. No? I'll right click on the program. Create what? Transaction. I'll give the T code name as something ZM3. I'll provide some description. What is the radio button? Program and screen. Provide the program name. What is the program name? Z830 mod 3. It has got only one screen. If you browse this, screen number is 100. Select the check boxes. Then the T code is created. Okay, let me activate the program once again. Yes, it is activated. Let us test it. Right click on the program, execute direct processing. Right, I'll click on exit. It is not allowing me. So this is a mandatory field. Compulsory, you have to enter some data. Now I'll click on the exit button. After entering the data, I'll click on exit, working fine. Other is implement the cancel button. Cancel button, what is the function type I give in? So I have to define at exit command module. Yesterday we have seen that. How do you define? In the PI event only. How do you define that exit command module? Module name at what? Exit command. right? This module gets executed only when the user interacts with the button whose function type is set to what? E. So I'll double click on the module name, does not exist. Let us create that module in the top include program. Okay, so here I'll say case IUCOM. What is the function code of the cancel button? FC for, I'll say leave program. End for case is what? End case. Check for the syntax, activate this top include program, go back, activate your flow logic. Flow logic is activated. Better activate the program also. Right click on the program, activate. Okay, so when I execute, right, even though this is mandatory, I cannot interact with this. I'll click on cancel. I am able to do the forceful exit. So we are done with exit and cancel. Let us write the logic for what? Get material. So whenever I click on the get material button, I have to get the corresponding material type and material group. So what is the event triggered when I click on the button? PA. So in the PA event module, right, when FC1, I have to get the data for the corresponding fields and show it in the corresponding fields. Can anyone guide me how to do it? Yes, can anyone guide me how to do it? Yes, can anyone tell me? When I execute this, what is the requirement here? Here I have to enter the material number. Anyhow, I have designed this field from the database. Na? So at the database level, that particular data element might contain some search help. The same search help I am getting here. When I browse this, I am able to see the what? Standard search help. I am able to see the list of materials. I'll take some material. When I click on this button, I should get the corresponding material type and material group and show it here. Right? As of now, nothing. So how do you proceed? How do you proceed? Anyone? Bhavani, Naveen, Sai, Swapna, Jyoti, Sudha. Yes, Sai. Your voice is not audible for me. Are you speaking? Yes. Can anyone else speak? I just want to check whether it is audible for me or not. Hello?
So sir, query station.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Sai, your voice is not select query only, but what is that select query I need to write? What is that select query I need to write? When I click on that button, I need to write the select query only. But can anyone tell me what is that select query?
Select query of database.
Select query on which table?
Require the material database. Sir.
Mara table. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So should I use select single or select into table? Shall I use
Into
select
sir.
hmm? Select single or
Into
normal
sir.
select? Yeah, into only, but should I use select single or not?
No, sir, to get multiple.
No, multiple records, but this is not multiple record only. Na? It is single record only. Na? Single record only, but multiple fields. So, since I'm going to get the data, based on key field, what is the key field in the Mara table? MATNR. It is a primary key field. Na? So, if you are getting the data comparing with primary key field, you will get only single record. Na? Yes or no? So you have to use select single because material number is what? Primary key. Understood? When you are trying to compare with the non-key fields, at that time you have to see into table. But here we are pulling only one record comparing with what? Material field. And what are the fields you have written? That data should come and sit in your target screen fields. What are my target screen field names? If you go to the layout, what are my target screen field names? If I go to the layout, what happened? 1 second, it is taking time. Okay, might be I need to re-log in, or else I'll do it here. So I see that SE80. Yeah, in this program only. So let us write the logic. So what are my screen field names? User is currently editing, but here I am unable to open. Now I'll try to close this. I closed it. Yeah, I'll try to open now. I'll open this in display mode. I'll open in change mode. Yeah. Okay. So save it. Activate this. So what are my screen field names? If I go to layout, it is opening now. What is the name of this field? If I double click, Mara-MATNR. This is Mara-MTRT. This is Mara-MATKL. So what is the event triggered when you click on the button? PA. So the PA event model, when FC1, yeah, select single. How many fields we are going to fetch? Two fields, material type and material group. Select single, right? Select single. What are the fields? Material type and material group into, understood, into my target screen fields. On the layout, what are my field names? Mara-MTRT, Mara-MATKL. Am I clear? Select single these two fields from the database table into my target fields. From which table? From Mara table. And already we know whenever we use select single, to guarantee that appropriate record is retrieved, you have to compare with primary key field. What is the primary key field in the Mara table? MATNR. So where MATNR equal to the material number which we have entered on the screen. What is the name of this field? Mara-MATNR. These are my screen field names. Mara-MATNR. That's it. Okay. If psi sub RC not equal to 0, if the select is failed, psi sub RC will be other than 0. Na? If it is not equal to 0, I'll say message no material data. No material data. Type what? I. Clear? So save it. Check for the syntax. I'm getting an error. Can anyone correct me this error? Field Mara-MTRT is unknown. It is neither in one of the specified tables nor defined by the data statement. Can anyone correct this error? Declare what? Good, Sai. What you have to declare?
We have
Yeah, Jyoti. Jyoti, go ahead.
spaces required, sir.
Where?
In brackets, into brackets.
No, not required. Not required. Not required. Not required. I need not give space. Yes, Sai, you are saying you need to declare. Now, what I need to declare? MTRT and MKL. So yesterday I told you, what I told, if you are referring to the screen fields, if you want to refer to the screen fields in your program, we should declare the screen fields now. Yesterday, what are our screen fields? IO1, IO2, IO3. Since I need to use it in the program, I need to declare the variables the same name. Na? So I declared IO1, IO2, IO3. Here also, these are my screen fields only. Na? So I need to declare it with the same name. So what I'll do in the top include program here only, I'll say data. What are the field names? Mara-matnr type what? It has to refer to what? Mara-matnr. Then Mara-mtrt type what? Mara-mtrt. Then what? Mara-matcal type what? Mara-matcal. Understood? If you are referring to the screen fields in your program, those screen fields you are declaring in the program with the same variable names. I declared. Let's see what happens. Hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, let me save it. Check for the syntax error. I didn't got the errors now. I got the warnings. I got this yellow color warnings. What is that? In Unicode programs, the hyphen character cannot appear in the names as it does here in the name Mara-matnr. Okay, so it is giving me an error because it is saying that the variable names cannot contain hyphen, it seems. The variable names cannot contain hyphen, but it is not giving the error, it is giving warning. Let me try to ignore that warning. Let me check whether I'll get the result or not. Okay, activate this. Right, we are able to activate. Done. Let me test it now. Activate everything. Go back and activate your flow logic also. Once again, activate your program. Execute. So I click on the program, execute direct processing. Yeah, I'll give the material number. So if you browse this, right, I'll give some material number. I'll click on this. What is the material number? I got 2457. It is saying what? No material data. But I selected that from the F4 only. Na? So if you go to SC11, if you go to Mara table, right? If you go to Mara table, if I go to contents, okay, what is that 2457 material number? If I execute, yes, that material is there. I am having some material type FERT, finished product. Material group is space, no problem. Material group is space, but material type is what? FERT. But it is saying that it is not available. Okay, so let us see what is the issue. So if you go back, I'll try to debug. I'm putting the breakpoint here. Let me check what is the problem. The select is getting failed. So when I execute, observe this carefully. I'll give the material number as 2457, which is existing now. If I click on this, what is the event triggered? PAI, process after input. Yes, it has triggered the PAI event. Done. In the PAI event, yeah, I entered some material number now. It is captured in this field now. What is the value I got here? Space. But I entered some material number on the screen now. So whatever the data I entered on that screen field, it is not getting captured in this variable. It is showing it as what? Space. That is the reason. Understood? That is the reason when I execute the select query, it is comparing with what? Material number, which is space. That's why the size of RC is getting what? Failed. Before executing the select query, what is the value of size of RC? 0. After executing, when I say F5, what happened? Select query is what? 4, means the select query is failed. So what is the problem here? Because whatever the material number I entered on the screen, it is not getting mapped to this particular variable Mara-matnr. That is why it is comparing with blank material number. Since there is no material with that, I got that size of RC as what? 4. So understood. So what is the problem here is, initially I got the error saying that this is not available. So I declare that. What is the point we know? We have to declare the same name as that of what? Screen field names. I declared it. But what is the warning I got here? It is saying that in the programs, the hyphen character cannot appear in the name. So if you are having the hyphen, that variable cannot hold the value. Okay, cannot hold the value. But what is the problem now? I need to declare the names with the same variable names. So that is the reason I'll compare this. I'll comment this. This also what warning. Okay, doesn't hold what data. So what I'll do, I need to declare the variables with the same name, but I cannot use hyphen. So one solution is on the screen, what are the names it is proposed? Mara-matnr, Mara-mtrt, Mara-matkl. At the screen level, you change the field names. That I'll do it tomorrow. For today, for the time being, what I'll do is I will say tables Mara. Already, I think somewhere we discussed tables. What these tables will do, anyone? What these tables will do, anyone? Did I discuss this anywhere else?
Yes, sir, you have discussed it.
Yeah. What happens? This table statement creates work area. Creates work area with all the fields of what? Mara table. So internally what happens? The tables statement will create a work area with all the fields of what? Mara table means something like this. My Mara table has got some 211 fields. Starting from the first field to last field, it creates a work area based on what? All the fields. Based on all the fields. So what happens here? This is, what is this? MANDT. Then what is this? MATNR, like that. What are the sequence of fields are there in the Mara table? With the same sequence it will declare. Okay, MANDT, MATNR, ERSDA, ERNM, up to what? 265 fields. Up to 265 fields. Okay, ER what? SDA. Okay, ERNM, like that. It will declare till what? The last field. Something what? 26. In my version, it is 265 fields. Okay, so the table statement will create a work area with all the fields. How many fields are there in the table? 265. So tables Mara, what it will do? Creates what? Creates work area. Understood? So just because of three fields, unnecessarily a work area is getting created with all the fields. Huh? That is the problem. So save it, check for the syntax, no errors, activate. You may get the result, but there is a performance issue. So let me activate and test. When I execute, right, I'll enter 2457. I'll click on this. Yes, I got the material type and what? Material group is space is there. That's why I got space. Am I clear? So if I declare a variables with hyphen, it is not storing the data. It is not mapping the data. Am I clear? So I'll click on this. Might be the same material. Okay, I'll just give the material number as 23. I'll click on this. Yeah. Okay, I got the material type in material group working fine. If I click on this clear, I should clear the data. Okay, I should clear the data. Okay, so what is the function code for that? FC2. So when FC2, I'll say clear what are the field names? Mara hyphen, MATNR, Mara hyphen, what? MTART, Mara hyphen, MATKL. Understood? The table statement will create a work area with what? All the fields. It will recognize. Okay, but there is a performance issue. I'm getting the result, but it's a performance issue. So how to rectify that issue? We'll discuss that in the tomorrow's session. Okay, suppose here I'll enter again. I'll give it as something A100. I'm giving the material number as what? A100. A100. I'll click on this. No material data. Okay, I'll give 23. I'll click on this. Yes, I'm getting the data. Understood? Working fine. So what is the point? If you want to refer to the screen fields in your program, we have to declare the variables with the same name as that of screen field name. So I tried to declare. What is happening? It is giving warning and the data is not getting mapped to those fields. Right? So that is the reason I commented that. I went for what tables declaration, which will create a work area with what? All the fields, which is a performance issue. Just because of 3 fields of Mara table, unnecessarily we are creating the work area with what? All the fields, which will degrade the performance. So how to avoid that? That part we'll discuss in tomorrow's session, and also we'll implement this fourth validation also tomorrow's case. Yeah. Any questions for today? Please ask. No questions? Chalo then. So thank you everyone. Practices tomorrow. We'll try to start in time 8:30 and we'll finish up this particular example tomorrow. Anyhow, we are done with 3 validations. Tomorrow we'll discuss this 4th validation, how to associate custom F4 help and custom F1 help. So far in module pool, what are the things we have discussed? How to design text fields, IO fields, database fields, how to handle PBO event, PI event, how to define the GUI status, how to define the GUI title, how to create the T code for the module full program at exit command module. So we have discussed all these things. Start practicing, otherwise money will be wasted, time will be wasted. Okay. Chalo then. So thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.